Watts is it's fun. It's a nice place. I like it. It has a lot of history. Um, One of the things that most people know about Watts was the Watts riots back in 1965. Um, Another thing, the Crips initially started in my neighborhood where I was raised up at.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, my father was actually one of the guys who helped start it. I would
Really?
say. Yeah. I would say when I grew up, so growing up with my dad, when I grew up, he used to always tell me like, who was the leaders of the Crips. Like this one guy named Raymond Washington, Tookie Williams. A lot of people know Tookie Williams because he died recently from lethal injection in California. But he wasn't he wasn't the founder of the Crips. This guy named Raymond Washington, he started the Crips, and I knew this as a kid. So I used to go to school and tell people this, and he's like, no, like how you know? But because when my dad's like best friends.
Yeah. Was it scary
Um,
growing up there?
Now I look back at it, yes.
Yeah.
Like when I was there and I was growing up there, I didn't know nothing else. I just thought like this is how it is, this is how the world is. This is how this is how everywhere it is. I'm assuming. I assumed. But looking back at it now, yes, it's not a fun place. Not a fun place. I lost many of my close friends. Starting from preschool all the way up. Close friends that was good people. They made bad decisions. To maybe join the gang or something, but they were still good people. Still. In many ways, I'm in college now, but in many places, some of my friends that's like dead and gone. They were like way smarter than me, way lovable, likable than me. They just made their wrong decisions in life. Living in Watts, so easy to get sidetracked because you got to think about like all your friends, mostly all your family. Like in my instance, my brothers, they all gang members, so. You can't be like, I can't walk to the store with one of my brothers back home because of, their affiliation. So you have to be kind of careful to even, be in the same car with your loved ones because, what they do can ultimately affect you. So I want to get away from that and get away from, because I want to be able to, go to school and not have to feel like, man, my life is on the line, when I go back home.
Well, recently, in the media, there's been movies that have come out like Fruitvale Station, and these things that come up in the national spotlight about white police brutality, basically. These white police officers murdering young black men. Me being in a very sheltered place like Utah. I think people don't realize that this kind of stuff happens every day, right? It's more than just, once here and there. Would you be willing to share some of your experiences?
It was a true story, obviously, and stuff like that. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
And so it's like when the media get a hold to it, it's like, oh, like this is wow, and it's like one of the least saddest stories, like that you hear of. But like me growing up, like police brutality was like, was always scared of it. Like as a young kid, our mothers taught us, how to act, with police, so they don't give them any reason to do nothing to you. And just simple, you couldn't even ask just simple questions like, oh, why you pulled me over, or what did I do? Why you harassing me? Those questions were like forbidden, forbidden. So you always had to be, put on this act like, yes, sir. This subordinate role. Police brutality, man, is just it's just sad because you have these cops on this power trip and they want to, explode it, man, for what it's worth. And unfortunately, there's a lot of young kids losing their lives just to cops, And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of, in my neighborhood, it's a lot of bad guys. It's a lot of, kids. It's a lot of, dudes out there that deserve to get locked up, deserve to, be in prison. But sometimes the people that do lose their lives are not the bad ones, and that's why it's so sad, because they'd be the ones who are like really trying. With the black community for a long time, man, before I was even born, it was race played the issue. You know what I mean? Like things that happen in my neighborhood probably would never happen in your neighborhood. You probably was never, pulled over by a cop with their gun drawn on you, taking you out, ripping your car seats up, messing and just, tearing apart your car to see if you had any drugs or guns in it. You probably would never experience that. And young black males especially just get that bad rap, man.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair.
Why do you think that there is such a negative relationship between, those white kind of power-hungry cops and young black males? It's just decades of racism.
Right, I think definitely. Or like we like to think like, oh, racism doesn't exist. Look, we got a black president. Like that's irrelevant, to what's been going on for years here in America. Just cultural difference, and that's one of the things. Like the Black Panther. That's what they had. A lot of people think like, oh, Black Panther was like this racist group hated white people, and like no, they're actually power for the people. Like let us police our own communities. Like you have these cops who don't live in our community, don't know our community, and hunt us down like dogs in our own community. So let us police them. Like we know how to handle that boy that that's committing all these crimes and stuff like that. We know how to approach him and know how to talk to him because he's one of us.